There's a difference between knowing people and being the person everyone wants to know. Hey, I'm Dr. Dave Martin, and on today's show, I'm going to be giving you the Connector's Playbook. We'll talk about how to build bridges, how to make introductions that elevate your reputation, and how to grow your influence by serving others first. It's not about collecting contacts. It's all about connecting people with purpose. Hope you'll like, subscribe, and hey, let's get started. Hello and good morning, or maybe it's good evening, or maybe it's good afternoon. I don't know where you are in the world right now, because it's morning some places, afternoon some places, evening some places. It's amazing to have over 80 countries, I believe, have downloaded our podcast. And wherever you're at, welcome to the Dave Martin Show. I'm Dave Martin, your success coach. And if you're listening today, get ready, because we're not just going to talk about building a network. Today we're going to be talking about building a legacy. How do we build a legacy? I'm going to give you a little bit of my playbook, the Connector's Playbook. How to become a person that everybody wants to know. How would you like to be that person? Man, I got to know that guy. Everybody wants to know. There's a major difference between being someone who networks and being someone who connects. Anyone can collect names. Anybody can gather up a whole bunch of business cards. I used to think that was it. The more business cards, man, I got so many business cards. Events, hey, I've been to business events where that was the goal. See whoever can get the most business cards before you leave here today. And you'd get a big old stack of business cards. But I said, you know what? I learned a long time ago. I quit looking at the number of business cards I got. And I started looking at the number of connections I made. I can get a bunch of names, but did I make a connection? Because when you become the kind of person who connects people to purpose, that makes all the difference. Your influence goes from being transactional to being transformational. Just exchanging business cards is transactional. But if I can help you fulfill your purpose by connecting you with someone or something, or now it becomes transformational. And that's the kind of person you want to be. How do you become that kind of person? Networkers collect. We've been talking about networking. That's the terminology we use. But connectors curate. There's a big difference between those two. Let me ask you, are you collecting people or are you curating relationships? There's a difference. Show up, shake hands, swap cards, hope for the best. A networker can do that. But a connector shows up with intention. They're listening for what someone else needs. See, I've lived my life like this. I'm a connector. I'm listening constantly. Oh, wait, man, I know what they need, which reminds me, I've got to make a phone call right now, because some friends of mine are down in Florida, and there's a Barrett-Jackson going on, and I know someone who's real big in Barrett-Jackson, and I said, you know what, I'm going to call them and connect you, because I know you want to go over to it. I got to remember that. As soon as I finish this podcast, I got to make that call. I'm listening. What does someone need? What does someone need? What someone offers? I'm listening where the synergy is, okay? And connectors make magic happen. When I meet someone, I'm already scanning through my mental list of connections, right? My Rolodex, what we used to call it. Who do I know that they need to know? I'm not thinking, how could I use this relationship? I'm thinking, how can I serve this relationship? And that's the difference. So this week, here's what I want you to do. Listen to someone's story when you meet someone and try to find one way that you could add value to them through connection, okay? Let's talk about the habit of the double win. I like this. I don't know. I just kind of made that up. The habit of the double win. You know, a good negotiation when you both win, a double win. Same with relationships. This principle changed my life. If both people don't win, it's not a good connection. It's not a good connection. Real connectors don't just introduce people because it benefits them. They do it because it creates mutual wins. So ask yourself, what does person A need? What does person B bring? Could this connection elevate them both? If I connect them, this person, and bring them together, they're both going to be better. So when you start creating double wins, now people start associating your name with momentum, with trust, with favor. You see, does that make sense to you? People start saying, man, if Dr. Dave says I need to meet you, I need to meet you. I'm showing up. If Dr. Dave says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Now, listen, you have to do this, again, I mention this every time, I think, without expecting anything in return from that person. I don't do favors for anybody. If I do you a favor, now you owe me one. I don't want anyone to owe me anything. But if I show favor, now I can expect God to bring it back to me. First of all, you'll be disappointed if you expect that person to bring anything back to you. Remember, you always reap what you sow, not always where you sow. So here's what I want you to do. Another thing I want you to do this week. Look for 2 people this week with the intention of making both of their lives better. No strings attached. Who could I connect that would make both of their lives better? These are just some little things you can practice. Little principles, little action steps to help you become a better networker. Be known for who you are and how you share. If you want to be unforgotten, you got to do something unforgettable. People say, I want to be unforgotten. Real easy. Do something unforgettable. That's not hard to do. Become the person who knows the right people and then share those relationships freely with other people. When someone's looking for a solution, you want your name to come up like, oh, you got to talk to so-and-so. You got to talk to Dave. You need to get, they always know somebody. You got to talk to Steve or Karen or whatever. You want to be that kind of person. Here are 3 connector habits that will help you build that kind of reputation. First of all, when you meet people, ask better questions. Think about the questions. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Right? They'll tell you who they need. So I'm talking to someone, we meet on the plane, we're talking. So what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now in your business? Oh, well, we're trying to get a loan for this and that. Oh, you know what? I know exactly who you need to talk to. Right? So I'm listening. I'm asking better questions so I can find where can I help them? Where can I solve a problem for them? Where can I connect them with someone else? And then the second thing, the second connector habit is track who you know. Keep record of who you know. Create your own relationship Rolodex. Know who's good at what. Know who can help who with what. And then the third thing you do, the third habit, is make surprise introductions. Don't wait to be asked. Offer value on your own terms. Offer it before someone even asks you to do it. Remember, being a connector isn't about collecting. It's not about collecting social capital. It's about releasing it at just the right time. Oh, goodness, there's so much good stuff in this that I want to share with you, but here's something I teach everywhere I go. Favor follows function. So what does that mean? Favor follows function. When you function as a connector, someone who adds value, someone who creates bridges, someone who releases relationships, favor starts flowing through your life. Why? Because people remember you. People will refer you. People will honor you. The person you help today may be the person that opens up the biggest door for you tomorrow. Favor multiplies through service. Always, always. So who's someone that you've helped in the past? Follow up with them, check in on them, stay in connection with them. I'm not saying that that's going to be definitely where it comes from, but I'm always staying in relationships, staying in the flow. If a favor has flowed through me this direction, I'm going to stay in the flow. Got to stay in the favor flow, right? Stay in the favor flow. Now, I'm going to give you something strategic here. And I think this is gonna help you. So, if you're driving, you're gonna want to go back and listen to this again. If you're able to, I think you're gonna want to write a couple of these things down because you want to be strategic. You want to be strategic with your connections. So start organizing your relationships. I organize mine like circles. Okay, it's not a bunch of chaos. A lot of people just got a bunch of chaos. They know a bunch of people and a bunch of stuff, and it's just all chaos. So I've organized mine. And here's my strategy that I use. So first I have my core circle, okay? And first circle is my core, the inner circle, the truth tellers, my accountability partners, those people. Your core is your foundation. They're the few people that you allow full access. I'm very careful who I allow access. I know a lot of people, but not a lot of people have full access. And I'm very understanding of the gift of access. We should do a whole podcast just on the gift of access. I'm grateful for that. I was with a mentor of mine just last week, and I told him over and over again, I said, listen, I do not take for granted. People are paying literally hundreds of thousands of dollars for access to him. And he's given me the gift of access for over a decade now. I don't take that for granted. And I'm very careful who I allow the gift of access, who has full access to your heart, to your mind. They know the real you, not just the public you. That's your inner circle. That's your core. They can speak truth. They don't just have to flatter you. They can speak truth. They help correct your blind spots. I'm grateful for people in my life that can see my blind spots, they encourage me in my growth, that call me higher when I get comfortable. Proverbs 27, verse 6, it's a scripture that says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. The core doesn't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. So choose those few people very carefully. So you got your circle, the core. Now here's another circle, the contributors. Second circle you need is the contributors. The contributors are my mentors, my advisors, my high-value partners. That would be my contributors. Contributors add wisdom to my life. They add expertise to my life. They add opportunity to my life. They're not necessarily maybe my closest friends, but they contribute significantly to my process, to my progress, and to your progress. Those people that are in your circle there, I look at them like architects. They are helping you build your dreams, right? Maybe like scaffolding. They're there to help you get to the next level. They challenge your thinking. They expand your possibilities. They open doors that you could not open on your own. Honor those people in that circle. I'm so grateful for my contributors. I invest in those relationships because they're super valuable. I never take their time or their input for granted. Everyone, all people have is time. When someone gives you their time, don't waste it. It's all they've got. It's all God gave them was time. When you understand the value of time, what we've done, you can go back. I think we did a podcast on time and the value of time. But and because of time, let me go to the third one. So you've got your core, first circle. You got your contributors, second circle. Third circle I want to talk about is your connectables. I think I might have made that word up. Your connectables. The connectables are new and potential relationships that you're cultivating right now. Okay, I've got a couple of new people I just added to this circle last week, some new connectables. I'm just cultivating the relationships, their future partnerships, their friendships, their future opportunities. They're not established yet, but they are really promising. Approach those relationships with intentionality, not with desperation. Focus on adding value first, not extracting benefits first. Build trust slowly and steadily. And in this circle, I encourage you, practice discernment. Discernment is really a powerful, a lot of people think of that just as a Christian term or something like that, but discernment in business is very, very powerful gift. Not every connectable will move closer, and that's okay. But you've got to learn to steward those connections wisely and let them reveal their fit. Okay? It'll come. It may take a little time, but they'll reveal their fit. Okay, then the fourth circle. Fourth circle we're going to get to is the catalyst. People who help you help others. Okay? That would be other connectors. So I've got a couple friends that are amazing connectors. Tony Stewart, amazing connector. Jordan Montgomery, amazing connector. And they are catalysts in my life. They are connectors to other connectors. They're people who help you help other people, movers and shakers. They're great friends as well. And I'm so thankful for them. But catalysts are powerful multipliers. They energize your mission by linking you to more opportunities, more people, more influence. They may not stay. Sometimes they stay in. I've got connectors that have been in my personal orbit for years and years. Other ones are for a moment or for a time, but their impact will definitely be felt. And I never forget them, even though maybe our relationship isn't as close as it used to be. I will always be grateful. And if I ever get a call, I'm grateful for who they are. I've got one of those in my life that some of the biggest opportunities 10, 15 years ago, they were a catalyst in my life and have been a friend of mine for over 30 years. And sometimes we'll go for 2 or 3 years and not talk, but I will never forget how grateful that people like Obed Martinez, a dear, dear friend. We don't get to talk all the time, but he has been an incredible catalyst in my life, and I'm forever grateful. Anything he ever needs, I'm there, right? Their impact is felt. Catalysts create momentum. Value them. Respect their pace. Stay in mutual contribution. How can I help? When you are a blessing to a catalyst, they naturally will open doors that you didn't even know existed. Okay, so when you know who's in which circle, now you can move people intentionally, and you stop networking blindly. Just see, how's this all going to figure out? I know a bunch of people, and no. Now I've organized it. It's not just chaotic. It's not chaos, but there's an organization to my relationships. Blind networking is exhausting. It's exhausting, and a lot of times it's fruitless. But strategic connecting, on the other hand, produces exponential results, okay? So each circle requires different levels of access, different levels of energy, different levels of investment. So by organizing relationships strategically, you protect your time, you increase your influence, you maximize your impact. Remember, divine connections are orchestrated, they're not accidental. So be prayerful, be discerning, and be very, very strategic. Next podcast, we're going to talk about, well, in the next couple, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to tell you about that yet. But I would encourage you, here's a little action step. Take some time and kind of map out your relationships, kind of map out your network. Who are the 3 most influential connections that you have? Who goes in your core? Who's your contributors? Who's your connectables? Who are 3 people you should be investing more in? Kind of map that out. So take some time this week and do that. Here's you can't connect if you don't show up. There's power in proximity, okay? There's power in proximity. If you don't show up, you got to be in the room. Some of the greatest opportunities of my life came not because I chased them, but because I was in the right room. Just because I was there, I walked in the door. I have a friend of mine. is stepping out into some new areas right now in his life and business and ministry. And there was a place that he wanted to go. I said, you know what? I want to help you get there. I want to help you get there because if you're in the right room, you don't know what can happen. But if you're not there, nothing can happen if you're not there. So I said, hey, I got him a plane ticket. I got him a hotel. I said, go. I want you to be at this event because I know he's just kind of launching. And if I can get him in proximity is powerful. And so you got to be in the room. Favor doesn't find the absent. It finds the available. It finds the available. So you want to grow your influence? Say yes to the dinner. Go to the dinner. Show up at the conference. Oh, it's just going to be out of my way. No. Say yes to the gathering. Dots can't connect if they're not even on the same page. Okay? So you got to get the dots on the same page so that you can connect them. Say yes. Here's your little action step for that. Say yes to something. Say yes to something this month that puts you in a better room or puts you in a room. At least get in a room, even if you feel a little awkward. Even if it stretches you, even if it takes a little investment, growth begins with yes. Growth begins with yes. Okay? Last thing, and then we'll wrap this up. Who you know versus who knows you. Who you know. A lot of people spend time trying to know important people. But here's a better question. What do important people say about you when you're not in the room? Not just who you know, who knows you. It's the power of reputation. So powerful in building your network. Reputation is built on a few things. It's built on being a person who follows through. I know some people that, oh yeah, I'm gonna hook you up with that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna connect you that, and never follow through. Following through builds a reputation. Serving consistently builds reputation. Making others feel seen. I'm very aware when I'm in an environment. How can I make sure this person knows this person? Make sure others feel seen, and then deliver value again and again. You want to be known as a connector who cares, not just one who's just collecting clout. Okay, not just one who's just trying to get. Oh, I got everybody's name in my phone. No, what are you doing? Be someone who cares. Okay, be the first one to follow up. Be the last one to forget. That's how you become a person that others talk about, even when you're not in the room. Look, we were all created to connect the dots. We were in your life, in the lives of others. You're created to connect the dots. Every person you meet is a dot. Every lesson, every failure, every opportunity, all of it. Waiting to be brought together, drawn together. It's all dots. And when you bring it all together into a picture, it becomes a picture of legacy, a picture of purpose, a picture of impact. When you become the connector, you don't just collect relationships. You create real, eternal impact. And no matter what it is that you do, whether you're a speaker, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a businessman, whether you're a manager, no matter what it is that you do, there are dots to be collected and dots to be connected so that your purpose and your legacy. So make the call. Make the call. Send the text. Hey, if you're not invited to the table, create your own table. Create a table. Open a door for somebody else. Because remember, you might be one introduction away from your next breakthrough. It doesn't take a lot of people liking you. It just takes the right people liking you. Sometimes it's just one person. And someone else, well, someone else may be that one introduction. Someone's waiting for you to come into their life. You're that one introduction for someone else, just like someone else is for you. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this show today helped you. Hope you heard something. You said, man, that was good. I needed that one. Put it in the comments below. Send someone else. Maybe it jumps out to them. What's a key? What's one key that you picked up today? I'd love to hear from you. Send me a DM. Send me a message. Put it in the comments. If it spoke to you, share it with someone else. Maybe you said, man, I know someone who needs to hear this. Share it. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe so that we can stay connected. And hey, until next time, keep connecting. Keep serving, keep building bridges, and we're going to jump back into this on the next episode. I'll see you then.